afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Oh, come on. This is Wednesday. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Brian Mayoral. I am Tony's #1 Peak Performance Strategist. Tony Robbins. How many of you know this guy? You would not know who Tony Robbins is. Okay. Wow, really? Okay. Yeah, he's the leading authority on leadership, negotiation, peak performance, directly impact the lives of 50 million people all over the world. Y'all know that, yes? People like Serena Williams, Oprah Winfrey, Nelson Mandela, T. Boone Pickens, Rick Carlisle, Mark Benioff. Four of the past 6 United States presidents. Some pretty successful people, yes? Are these people that I just mentioned, are they already busy? Are they motivated? So, why would people who are already successful, already busy, already motivated, time to get coached by anybody? Again? Yes. Top state performing at your peak performance. How do you agree this? That's why we're all here today, true? Yeah. I don't know what brought you in here today. I don't know if you work here so you get stuck in here, or if someone dragged you here, or whether you chose to be here, but you're here, true? And what that tells me is if you're here, you know that somewhere deep inside of yourself, you got a next level in some area of your life, true? And what my job here today to do is to get that out of you. And we will get that out of you. I will not let you down. And here's what we need to do. In order for us to get anything out of this session that we're about to do, you gotta go all out. You gotta participate. You know what I mean? Because I've been to a lot of lunch and learns, and if it's another one of those, you know what I mean? Information will just go in one ear and then out the other, and you'll only retain like 10% of what we talk about. Or if you raise your hands, if you take notes, if you shout back answers, engage your nervous system, engage your body in a different way, we'll retain up to 90% of what we talk about. Cool with this? Yeah. Come on, baby. You cool, yes?
Yes.
Keyword today is going to be participation. Keyword? Oh, baby, come on now. What's the keyword?
Participation.
Awesome. So here's what I'd like you to do. How many of you consider yourselves competitive? Good. All right, cool. Sit up in your chairs with lots of energy. Shoulders back. Look at the person next to you and say, today I am committed. Are you? Committed. Oh, come on. Today, baby, I'm committed. Are you? So, Tony has always asked the question, what determines a human being's success or their failure? Heck yeah, I like grit. How many of you agree with grit? You know, why is it that you have some people who succeed and other people fail? Third by failure. I like that one. How come is it that you have some people who are excited, passionate, fired up, juiced, like to come into work every day? And you got some people, quite honestly, are just rolling out of bed. True? The difference that makes the difference in the human being. Her grit, her determination, commitment, what else? Passion. All these things. Do you all agree?
Sleep. Yes.
Sleep.
Get enough sleep.
If you think you have an impact or think effective.
Like that, yeah. I agree with making an impact in the world, yes?
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. And what we're going to go over today are the distinctions that Tony's found. For the last 40 years, 4 decades, he's been coaching some of the top people in the entire world. What he found is that there are a few things that separate those who do and those who do not. And number one comes down to decisions. Number one? Oh, come on now. What's number one? Decisions. Yeah, decisions truly shape our destiny. I mean, think about this for a second. As human beings, we live and die by the decisions we make day to day. Yes or no?
Yes.
How many of you are actual realtors? Okay. How many of you, what do you do? You're the owner, okay? How about you? Team leader, okay. So we're all based off of the decisions we make. True? And how about you two? What do you do? What do you do? Designer? Very cool. Programmer, okay, cool. So, as human beings, right? Like when you walk into these doors, whether you're a leader or whether you're a realtor or owner, whatever it is, We live and die by our paychecks every day. Decisions that we make. Isn't that the truth? I mean, for the most part, you're in this room, your paychecks are dependent on the results that you get. True? Not what happens on the 1st and the 15th, but how you perform. The results that you get, the value that you add to other people. Am I right or am I right? Right. Nobody else on this planet. Think about this for a second. The human beings in this room can make these decisions in our life that get us to the destiny that we deserve. And in order for us to focus on that, I want you to think about this. I watched this interview with Jeff Bezos. How many of you know who Jeff Bezos is? Owner of Amazon.com. And they asked him, Jeff, what is the difference at Amazon.com? You know, there are millions of internet companies. Why Amazon? And he, for a second, thinks, and he says this. Every one of my company is a decision maker. He says, you know, I encourage people to make decisions. I don't care if they're right or wrong. I would rather lose $1 billion a year in mistakes than to have people hesitate, have people wait, to overthink. Does that make sense? What is the worst decision that a human being can make? Nothing. True yes or no? At least moving forward, failing and learning from it is the best thing we can do rather than just wait. So what I would like to focus on today are making these decisions lasting, beneficial for anyone in this room. Go through this 45 minutes, hour-long lunch and learn, then go do nothing. True? So I know this will be impactful for you. I will not let you down, I promise. So number one is, come on, what's number one? Number two, pattern. Number two? Can y'all tell me what a pattern is? The coder definitely knows. Come on, give it to me.
It's a pattern of doing things repetitively. Failure or learning.
Sure, learning patterns, behaviors. How many of you have some good patterns or habits? Come on, did we brush our teeth this morning? Yes? Okay, how many of us have some bad patterns or habits? Quick hands in the back, I saw you. Do me a favor, stand up for a second. Hold your hands apart 6 inches. My man, that is a massive 6 inches.
I do not know what 6 inches is. It's centimeters, right?
Think about this for a second. See how different it is? Like the guys are like 6 inches. And the women are like, come on, 6 inches. Here's what I want you to do. When I say 1, 2, 3, go, all I want you to do is clap your hands. Are you ready? Are you sure?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, go. 2, 3, go. 2, 3, go. 2, 3. I got some happy clappers. Now, do you see as a team, right? We're a team, right? I know we might be from different brokerages or whatnot, but we're a team, yes? See how quickly we can create a pattern or a habit? Right? You see the person next to you clap, so you clapped. Some of you heard the person next to you clap, so you clapped, and then these two ladies are just happy clappers today. Take your hands, shake them out. Come on, shake them. Clasp them together. Take them apart. Clasp them together. Now, research shows that if you have your left thumb over your right thumb, you got their left over their right. You do. Hold it up high. Wow, a lot of left thumbers. Okay. This means that you're creative, you're incredibly sexy, and you're all amazing lovers. Don't seem too excited about it.
You read my profile.
Who's got their right thumb over their left? You. Okay, hold that up high. That means you're the logical thinkers in this group, and if anyone in this room is going to be a multi-millionaire, it's you. Guys, no one's excited. Okay. Did anyone have their thumbs side by side like this? Did anyone have their thumbs side by side? Anyone? Did?
I never thought to do.
Okay, yeah, thank God. No one did, right? Okay, perfect. Take your hands, shake them out. It means you think you're sexy and not very smart, so that's a good thing. Take your hands, shake them out. Come on, put them together. Take them apart. Put them back together. Now, when I ask you to do it this time, all I want you to do is take your hands apart, but when you put them back together, switch your thumbs. Ready? Go. How does it feel?
Weird.
How does it feel?
Weird.
Yeah, we got people from different countries here, right? Unanimous decision, it feels a little bit weird. Maybe a little uncomfortable. True? Why?
It's like it's
Yeah, different habit or pattern, right? See, sometimes as human beings, these patterns and habits may be taking you in the wrong direction. What happens if these patterns and habits are no longer serving you? What if they're taking you down a road that isn't producing the results someone of your level of skill, knowledge, talent deserves to have? The truth is, when knowledge comes up against these habits and patterns here on planet Earth, habits and patterns always win. Always. Today, can we investigate these patterns and habits?
Yeah, sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do I have permission to be myself, just be fun, goofy, excited about this so we can change these patterns and habits, become the best version of us? Yes?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, because here's the truth. If I said, Carlos brings me in here today and he says, all right, Brian, come in here and here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a workout in. Like a physical workout. Like I come in here, we start doing calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, and we work out different parts of our bodies that we haven't worked out in a while. If I asked you to do that, tomorrow we'd all wake up and feel a little bit what? A little sore, a little awkward, maybe a little uncomfortable. Y'all agree?
Yeah.
That soreness, that awkward feeling is a good sign of growth, progress, getting to our next level. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Today has to be about our growth and progress. We can't come in here and go back and do the exact same thing we did yesterday. That thing's not going to get us the results that we want tomorrow. True?
Yeah.
Now, you bring me in here today. Thank you for having me in. But I say, listen, I got my workout in. This morning I was at Equinox, and I was thinking about what are these patterns, right? Like, what's an analogy that I can come up with today that I can use? It got me thinking, like, if I had asked you all to put weighted dumbbells in your hands, go ahead. Like, weighted dumbbells. I say, here's the test. The next 3 years, Tony Robbins team, we go on tour. So basically, I won't be back for another 3 years. If I asked you to do 100 bicep curls every day for the next 3 years, and then I measured your biceps 3 years, how ripped would your biceps be? Come on, how ripped would it be? Out of all the real estate companies in the state of Florida, you would have the best biceps. True? Why is that? Worked on it. It became a pattern or a habit. Does that make sense? Today has to be about our mental and emotional. It's going to require us at times, going for it, have these awkward feelings, pressure. I promise you that pressure does build diamonds. Not?
Yes.
How many of you like diamonds? Oh, I saw some quick hands there. I saw you in the back. Y'all like diamonds, yes?
Yes.
Okay, here's what I need. Here's what happens with lunch and learns, right? I've done 400 of these, literally. What happens after a lunch and learn is that the oxygen in the blood in your body is now being taken to your stomach, right? And that what can happen there is human beings, if they overeat, what happens is the energy levels will start to go down because your body's trying to process. Does that make sense?
Yep.
What I ask you to do today is just stay engaged. Shout back the answers, write out the notes, do the whole thing. You can retain that 90% that I talked about. Are you cool with this?
Yeah.
Turn to the person next to say, I got your back, baby.
I got your back.
Oh, come on. I got your back, baby.
I got your back, baby.
All right, go ahead and take a seat. Perfect. So, what Tony Robbins has found, working with the best of the best, is that there's 3 pillars to our success. How many pillars? 3. Oh, baby, give it to me. How many pillars?
3.
Yeah, 3 pillars. Write this down. S-A-M. There's some in the back. S-A-M. An acronym. S stands for strategies. What does it stand for?
Strategy.
Yeah, your business plan, your plan of action to get you one. How well do you implement your plan? You have a plan to get to the next version of your success. In this business, let's be honest. If you fail to plan, you plan to?
Fail.
Come on, baby. Fail plan, plan to?
Fail.
That's right. So today, I want us to think about not just what we want to accomplish in real estate or or in your marketing work or your IT work, but the reasons you create in the first place. Because isn't it true that in life, when we have a big enough why, the how always shows up? Yes or no?
Yes.
How many of you have someone in your life that you love? I can see all the hands. How many of you can pretend you have someone? Isn't it true?
Find somebody.
Push comes to shove, yeah. Isn't it true that push comes to shove, you would do whatever it takes for these people who matter most to you? All right? That's your why. 2, action. What's number 2?
Action.
How do you execute your strategy business plan? This business, if I could oversimplify it, it's meet more people, shake more hands. Out of those hands that you shake, turn them into buyers and sellers. Out of those buyers and sellers, turn those buyers and sellers into referrals. Out of those referrals, rinse and repeat. Yes?
Yes.
That's oversimplifying it. I know that. It's much more complicated, but look at it from that perspective. More activity. Yes? Ultimately, what do you do for customer service and follow-up? How do you make your customers feel? Ultimately, someone chooses you or this company. Why do they choose you or this company out of 1,000 realtors that are in South Florida? Again? How do you make them feel? Y'all picking up on this, yes? Emotion creates motion. I'll say that one again. Emotion creates motion. People buy the emotion. They buy the beautiful backyard with the open, gorgeous format. Does that make sense? By the trust. They buy the certainty that you get. That's number 2. Number 3. By far is your most important. If you don't remember anything besides this of what we talked about today, please take this one. Mindset. What's number 3?
Mindset.
80% of the success in our business is our mental attitude. Confidence, certainty in ourselves, in this market, knowing that there's opportunity everywhere around us. Prospecting daily, making those extra calls, asking for referrals every single time you step in front of a customer. There's an unstoppable, unwavering attitude. It's the difference. I mean, think about this for a second. How many of you made it through this 2008? Beautiful. Why'd you make it? Follow up. Yeah. Did you walk on fire?
No, I know. I've done
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You went there. Okay. Cool. Joseph McClellan III. Shake that ass. You remember that?
Guy is,
Excuse my language, but it's
that
part of
guy
the
is
event.
off the chain. He's really all the time. Level.
Here too. Yes. Awesome. Cool. And you made it through this business. Thank you for sharing. Great. Great. Okay.
Strategy went well. Definitely. Working more. Better than working. Those.
Yes. I'm going to agree with these things, yes? I mean, think about this. I've asked 50,000 realtors across the United States that question. And not one person tells you about the tool, tactic, or technique. Tell you about grit. Tell you about seeing opportunity. It all has to do with mindset. That's what we're going to talk about today. It's 80%, 20% of the mechanics. At least for these sales processes. It might be different for coding.
Let's in.
Okay? So it's that piece that we have to talk about today because it's neglected in this world. Yes or no? Okay, so we're going to talk about this, and this is why the Mark Benioffs, the Mark Cubans, the Oprah Winfrey's in the world, the United States presidents go to Tony for coaching. They pay him $1 million a year, $1 million for 10 hours of his time. Plus, they give him a piece of the upside in their business. It's because the best of the best know if you're going to get to this next level, you have to have unstoppable, unwavering. Got to talk about it today. So we're going into November of this. the way that sales cycles work in real estate, especially, we're talking about a paycheck in January and February based on the effort we put in today. True?
Yes.
And if that's the case, we're already into 2020. If I had to ask you to rank yourself in 2019, scale of 1 to 10. 1 is not liking your results. Struggling, frustrated, pissed off, upset, living out of scarcity. That's a 1. Or a 10 is so phenomenal, you can't get better in any area of your line of work. Okay, Carlos and the team would be asking you to take over this. Give me your name. Oliver. Carlos and Oliver would be asking you to take over this business tomorrow to run the ship. Fair enough? Where would you rank yourself on the scale of 1 to 10? Now, if I ask you to rank yourself on that scale of 1 to 10, I gotta give you an example. In 2011, Oprah came to our event. There's this big event called Unleash the Power Within. That's the one you went to, right? There's one coming up here in Miami next week. Obviously, I'm going to ask you if you want to go. I think everyone on planet Earth should go. Should you go or not go? I want to make sure that 45 minutes is impactful. Cool? The one in San Diego? Well, it's usually the customer. So, having said that, I want this to be impactful whether you go or don't go. Cool? You should go. Now, having said that, Oprah comes to the event. She's planning to film her show. So she comes to Tony's event. She says, hey, Tony, I've been hearing about the work you're doing with people. I want to film my show, and then I'm going to interview you next week. Planning to stay for 3-4 hours, maybe? Tony asked this question on day 1. How are you showing up? How are you showing up in this game of life that we're all playing? My buddy who used to do what I do for Tony was sitting right next to her. What number do you think Oprah gave us?
3.
Very close. 10. Bring yourself a 5 out of 10. Mark Cuban, guess what number he gave us? 3. Bottom 2 of the most successful selves.
Because everyone has doubts.
That's how you
Why
figure
they
it
work
out.
so. Okay.
Could be one reason. What else? Not complacent. Improvement. How many of you agree with these things? Yes? How many of you know you got room for improvement? How many of you know that you're not complacent, you want to get to the next level? More love, more passion, more creativity, more money. Yes?
Yes.
That's what we have to get after today. I'm not asking you to compare yourself to Mark Cuban or Oprah. It'd be ridiculous. I'm not asking you to compare yourself to Oliver or Carlos or anyone in this room. You need to ask yourself this question. 2019, how did I show up versus my best version? What did I deliver versus what I'm capable of? Tell me on that. What did you give versus what you're capable of giving? Expand to, whatever word you like to use. What is that? I'd like you to do. Piece of paper. Open space right here. I'd like you to rank yourself on that scale of 1 to 10 now. Go ahead and go. Not playing a comparison game. You do that enough in 2019. Yourself. Perfect. Awesome. A show of hands who here rank themselves like a 1 or 2. Your honesty, 3 or 4. 5 or 6. 7 or 8. 9 or 10. Team. We didn't get 100% participation. We want the most out of today, yes?
Yes.
How many of you wrote a number down? Perfect. Come on now. There we go. Who here was a 1 or 2? 3 or 4? 5 or 6? 7 or 8? 9 or 10? Thank God there's no 9. So, Oliver, you're a leader in this team. Where would you say the average of the room was at? By the hands, by the way the hands were raised.
I couldn't see them, but I would say it would rank at 4.
And Carlos, you saw more of the hands. Where would you say the hands ranked on average? 0.5. All right, let's do a 3.5. Cool. So that leaves 65% being left on the table, right? No, it's a 3.5. Sorry. Okay, so if we're ranking ourselves on average of this team, 3.5, what does that tell us about how we're showing up in our business in 2019? Room to grow. Lots of grow. What else?
But we can
It
do
gives us
it.
a lot of opportunity.
A lot of opportunity. Give me some of that, man. Heck yeah. A lot of opportunity. How many of you agree? Yes? There's room for expansion. There's room for creation. There's room for living. You know, because if I walk in this room and everyone ranked themselves a 9 or a 10, might as well go lay on the beach for the next 20 years. True? And I know what about this group? If I asked you to go lay on the beach for 20 years, after about 5 days for some of you, 5 hours for some of you, you'd be asking yourself, what the hell do I do with all this sand? I need to go do something. True?
Definitely.
And if we're at 3.5, how many of you agree that one of the most essential things to living is growth and expansion? Growing and expanding so that we have more to give. True? And if that's the case, then there's more to give. There's a reason for waking up tomorrow. There's a reason to be passionate. There's a reason to expand, to create, to love. You feel me? And if you haven't shown up at your best, 2019, your personal best, why? What's stopping you from playing your game at 9 or 10? Holding you back today? What's gotten in your way? Tell me on that? Here's what I'd like you to do. On your worksheet, mind if I borrow this? On your worksheet, there's this question that says, what's holding you back? I'd like you to write down a few things that you can think of right now. Go ahead and go. There's no wrong answers here, except the names Carlos and Oliver. Can you get your name? Team lead? What's your name? Maria. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. About 5 more seconds, just as quickly as you can. Okay, who here wrote at least 1 or 2 things down? Awesome. What do you got? Yeah? Oh, that was an honest answer. Give me your name one more time. Tim. Tim, do you mind if I give you some feedback? Okay. I used to be a school teacher. And the reason I tell you that is this. I didn't like teaching all that much. It wasn't for me. And I'll tell you why. In California, where I grew up, there are 45 kids in a class. 45. The reason I tell you that is this. There's always that one kid in class. You know what I'm talking about? This kid's got more energy than everyone else. He's always wound up, always bouncing off the walls, always doing something he probably shouldn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, this particular class, I'm going to name this kid Johnny. Is that fair enough?
Yes.
Johnny is in the class. You know what, Johnny? Oh, Johnny. Yeah, nice. Okay. So let's just say this kid is named Johnny, right? Johnny's that one kid. Now, Johnny's got more energy than everyone else. One day, Johnny decides to throw something, and it hits another kid in class. Now we've got a scene that erupts, yes? I can go up to Johnny and say, Johnny, you're bad. Or I can say, Johnny, you're freaking amazing. Nobody in this room can match your energy. And if you learn how to channel your energy, no one is going to be able to catch you. That action that you took of throwing things is a pattern that you have. It's worth changing this pattern, Johnny. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I think that was the most honest answer I've heard all day. And I would offer to you that you're amazing. Maybe it's a pattern or habit, because when you look at it as a pattern or habit, we can do something about that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. So what else do y'all got? We got some good ones coming up. Come on. Ah, that's a good one. Time. How many of you put something related to time? Like you get to the end of the day, you're supposed to be a great mom, a great husband, great boyfriend, great son, great daughter. You're supposed to write all this code, make all these calls. You get to the end of the day, I just don't have enough time. What else? Say the F word. Come on. Professional environment. Fear. How many of you ever felt fear before? Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of pushing someone too hard, fear of not pushing hard enough, fear of not being loved, fear of over loving. We've all felt it, yes? Good. What else? Direction. What else?
Environment, but not in terms of like the environment affecting you, but putting myself in the right environment. Putting myself with hungry people who are also motivated.
Yeah. When you're around people who want to win, yes?
Yes.
People who are going to elevate your game, yes?
Yes.
And I'm not talking about just winning with paychecks, okay? I'm not, by the way, I am not here to tell you what you want. That'd be ridiculous. What I'm here to do is show you whatever it is that you want, that there's ways to get there. Make sense? Okay, what else? We got environment, we got time, we got direction, we got fear. What else? Choices. What else? Doubt. What else?
Wanting too many things.
Distractions, can I say that?
Distractions are a good way to say it.
I think, you know, I thought I already mentioned.
Mindset, yep. What else? Health, yep. What else?
Short-term gains or short-term habits for versus one.
Perfect. Get the elephant out of the room. How many of you want to make more money? How many of you ever heard the saying, you got to have money to make money? More money, more honey? You know what I learned when I first moved to Miami? I lived in most of the major cities in the United States. I moved to Miami and I learned very quickly. No money, no honey. That's how it is here. What else? What else? Sorry, I can hear. Vision. Yep, vision. How many of you got some stuff? This. You ever been to a talk? Or watched a movie and felt inspired to go take action? Or how many of you have ever been pissed off motivated before? Like someone said something to you that they should have never said. And then you say, that's it. That's enough. Never again. I will never again. I'm starting my new game plan right now. I'm going to make it happen. And then you say, I'll just do it on Monday. Yes? Anyone ever had this plan before? Monday turns into Tuesday. Tuesday turns into next week. Next week turns into next never. True? What do we call that? Anyone ever procrastinate? Unless they're procrastinating on raising their hands. No problem. What else? You got time, short term, motivation, vision, distraction, mindset, cool money, environment. I like that one. How many of you would agree that to be successful in any area of our life that we do have to have a plan? True? Commit to executing the plan daily. True? And have an unstoppable, unwavering mindset. How many of you would agree?
This Sam was.
Yeah. How many of you would also agree that some of these things that are holding you back, let's just say here at work, or in your business, are some of the same things that hold you back in these other areas of life?
Yeah.
True?
Yes.
Because isn't it true that every area of our life impacts every other area of our life? Tell me, does health affect work? Does work affect income? And does income affect relationships?
Yes.
Circle of life. Hence the circle of life. Yes. All these things that you gave me are great in red. What are they really? What are those really? Say that again. Pretty quick, yeah. Hurdles, challenges, barriers, opportunities for some breakthroughs to get to our next level today. Yes? To get the most out of this next 45 minutes. Yes?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, we got to identify this stuff. I get to spend some time with Tony. As you know, I'm sure all of you know, he's got 56 different companies at this point, doing over $6 billion in revenue a year, and he's one of the leading philanthropists on planet Earth today. And when I get time with him, I spend it with him. Does that make sense? Like, I absorb every second, just as you would. And I showed Tony, I'm like, hey, I'm getting these things up in red on my board. And he's like, great. You have to identify what these things are for people. I'm like, what do you mean identify what they are? He's like, well, the next time fear goes by, or doubt, or no time, or no money, or I'm just distracted, I don't know the answer to this, I need more training, whatever it is, the next time the thought goes by, you can identify it as one of those. And when you give something an identify, you now take it out of self and something that you can do something about. Does that make sense? And so our brain likes to box things up and package them. So we like to put things in categories. Now you can put it in a category over here. Here's what I mean by that. If you bring a pet home from the pet store, the first thing you do with that pet is you name it, right? Same thing with these thought patterns that we have. Now, Tony uses graphic language, right there, perfect. Tony uses graphic language so that we can remember these things in our mind. Is it cool if I say this one out loud? Professional environment, it's all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all good?
Yeah.
Good?
We've heard these things before.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Call this stuff your PS. What does that stand for?
Bullshit.
Oh, come on. What does it stand for?
Bullshit.
It stands for belief systems.
Oh.
You're excited about it.
I wanted to get it out. Get it.
I know. Tell you.
Shake it out. Shake it out.
How you feel about any subject in your life. I'll say that one again. How you feel about any subject in your life is going to determine your thoughts about the subject. And those thoughts are going to influence your decisions or lack of decisions, which will ultimately determine the results that you get. And so if this is true, we have to identify what is a belief. And if you'd like to write this down, a belief is the feeling of absolute certainty that you or I have about something. I'll say that again. A belief is the feeling of absolute certainty you or I have about something. One more time for you writers. A belief is the feeling of absolute certainty that you or I have about something. We make it simple. There are two kinds of beliefs. How many kinds? Oh, come on. How many kinds? Two. Number one. If you're wondering why this guy up front is asking you to shout out answers, it's intentional. Your brain's coming up with the answer, now it's ingrained a little bit deeper. Now you walk out of here with value. Fair enough? Okay. So, number one, limiting beliefs. What's number one?
Limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs are those things that stop you from taking your massive action. They prevent you from getting everything you want, everything you want to do, everything you want to become, everything you want to achieve in life, everything you want to create, these types of things. The dream killer. Doesn't matter where I'm at in the United States. Doesn't matter if I'm in New York, Chicago, LA, here in Miami. There's always one that shows up on my board. Which one of them do you think it is?
Oh.
Good. But which one do you think is the most frequent? That give it to me again. Time. Be honest with ourselves. What is the one consistent thing that everyone right now in this room has?
Time.
It's the great equalizer on planet Earth. True?
Yes.
Tony Robbins, Bill Gates, Oliver, myself, we all have the same amount of
Time.
not money.
No.
Human beings in this room can go shake more hands, get more deals, and make more money. Yes?
Yes.
Can't make more time. Truth is, we're having this conversation right now. Tick, tick, tick. Everyone is expanding to their next stage. Yes?
Yes.
In life, we can either step up and invest in ourselves to take control of our time, our money, our action, the results that we're currently getting, or time will just control you. Living life by design or by default. Leads me to number 2. Number 2 are called empowering beliefs. What's number 2?
Empowering
beliefs.
Ingrain that one.
beliefs.
What's number 2?
Empowering beliefs.
Good stuff. This is the reason why I know that you're in here today. The reason why I know that you took an hour out of the middle part of your day to invest in yourself. It's the reason that I believe while so many realtors are out goofing around, having a cocktail, not doing any work, you're in here working on you because you're the best thing that you got. True? Yeah, it's not the things out there that are best, it's the human being behind those things. No, the human beings in this room have separated themselves from most people. 1, because you're in this room. 2, because of your profession. And 3, because you're not going to settle for less in your life. True?
True.
Empowering beliefs are the reason that you wake up when you said you're going to wake up. You don't hit the snooze button in the morning. Empowering beliefs are the reason why you come in early, you stay late. Empowering beliefs are the reason why when shit hits the fan during the week and you have dinner plans with your family on Friday night, you walk into that dinner plan and you say, I'm going to show up as a 10 out of 10 despite what's happening in my life because it's not about me. True, yes or no? Those are the empowering beliefs that we have to tap into today. And we're going to. And if you take anything that I talk about during this section right here, take this from what Tony's told me. Human being will never out-earn, outsell, outperform, outlove, or outcreate their current belief system. I'll say that again. A human being will never out-earn, outsell, outperform, outlove, or outcreate their current belief system. For example, I don't know where everyone's at in this business, but it's impossible to make $100K a year. You only believe you're capable of making 50. True? By the way, there's only 10% of realtors in the United States making over $110,000. 50% of them are $45,000 less. And if you want to be a part of the top 10%, you better believe that you're capable of doing it. True? And the human beings in this room, it's impossible to find a loving, passionate, desirable relationship if you believe that there's no one out there for you that you aren't worthy of love. True? And it's impossible to have a healthy, vibrant body, a healthy nervous system, if you think that you're not capable of doing it at this age or that age because I look like this now. Does that make sense? So we all grew up on the saying where no matter where you grew up, someone told you something like this. If you believe you can't do something, you can't. But if you believe you can, it's only a matter of time, and we're going to right now. These pattern boxes are what Tony teaches his clients. Pattern boxes, people like Oprah and Mark Benioff, every time he coaches them when he starts the year, he starts with these. And the 6 of us in the company, he shows this all the time. These are going to seem simple, and that's the point. Complexity is the enemy to execution. Say that one again. Complexity is the enemy to execution. That's why this is simple. Bottom left box stands for results. What does it stand for?
Results.
Do you remember this from the last time?
Results, yes. As soon as I walked in, this whole box, this is good.
Heck yeah. I've done it 9 times. Yeah. The training never stops because I'm a different person every time, right? What's the bottom left box?
Results.
Results is a fancy word for goal. And results means to you, what's this standard going to be for you? What are you going to be proud of? What are you going to create? What are you going to expand to? What's this bar that you're going to raise in the next 12 months that says, come hell or high water, I will find a way to get here. I don't need to know how yet, I just need to know why. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, what is this line in the sand right here that you're going to say, come today, by the time I walk out of here, I will create this. I don't need to know how it's going to work out yet. But I refuse to settle for less in my life because it's not about me. It's about the people that I love. True, yes or no?
True.
Listen, we all get to the end of the year. Some of us celebrate Hanukkah. Some of us celebrate Christmas or New Year's. Most people are going to get to the end of this year, and you'll get a good practice run this December. December, you're going to walk in a room, and hopefully it's people that you love, yes? You're going to ask yourself this question. Did I give everything that I'm capable of giving? Did I deliver the way that I said I could? Did I show up? Did I expand? Did I create? Did I love the way that I'm capable of? not just for me, but to show them what's possible. Provide for them. Does this make sense? And since this year is already done, I'm going to ask you to put down some results for December 25th or New Year's Eve next year. Does that make sense? What's that going to be for you? What's this thing that's going to help you create? So, fulfillment doesn't come from doing the same thing that you did last year. Notice that nothing in life stays the same. Either goes or dies. True? So, and if that's the case, the growing aspect is what fulfills a human being. What truly fulfills them, contribution they give to someone else. You all picking up on this? So, what does this result want this year in this business? That's what brought us together. Write down a business result. And write down a second one that has nothing to do with this business. Just has to do with something with you personally. Go ahead and go. Is it 10 deals? Is it 20 deals? Is it 100? Is it making 100K? Is it increasing your business by 50%, 80%, 100%? The personal side of things. Is it going on date night once a week? Is it quitting date night? Is it finding a date? Is it gaining 25 pounds? Losing 25 pounds? Is it 1 hour a day with your loved ones? Is it making every soccer game? Is it going on that vacation that you wanted to? That result for you, I mean, one for your business, one person. 10 more seconds. Y'all got it, yes? Raise your hand if you wrote something down. Ladies in the back, what do you got? What'd you write? Whichever you prefer. Whichever you prefer. Trust your team and respect your team. How would you earn that? Okay, so how would you define that? Trust there. Cool. Cool. How about over here? By how much? Give a percentage. Double, so you want to get an increase? Okay. Is it possible, team? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is it possible for her team to earn trust? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is it possible for you to double your business this year? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Is someone else in the state of Florida here in Miami going to make this crap happen? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, cool. What else? Yeah. Love your energy.
More banks.
More banks. Okay, we got trust. We got 10 more banks. I gotta do that. 10 banks. Beautiful. Are these things possible?
Yes.
Okay, so we got to trust. We want a 100% increase in our business. We want 10 more banks. How about personal ones? Anyone got a personal one? I got you already.
Compete
Johnny.
in 2 more judo events.
Say it again.
Do 2 more judo events or competition.
2 more judo events.
Competition.
Cool. Okay. So if someone wants to get more trust, get a 100% increase in their business, get 10 more banks, and go to 2 more judo competitions, We can do these things, right?
Yes.
So that's the first thing that we need to know. And are there specific and measurable actions that we must be taking on a day-to-day basis? Yes?
Yes.
Should someone take little action if they want to increase their business by 100% or massive? Come on, little action or massive action?
Oh, massive.
Yeah, and when they're taking their action, should they hesitate or step up?
Most.
Come on, the most decisive person that you know in your version of success, right? In your version of success, don't they make their decisions quickly because they know what they want? Yes or no?
Yes.
They're more decisive, of course. So they put action. We're going to step up and take massive action to get more trust, increase our business, to get 10 more banks, to go to 2 judo competitions. How much of our potential do we need to tap into every single day? Little or a lot?
A lot. As much as possible.
As much as possible. And we all know the answer to this, but a quick reminder can't hurt. What is the potential of a human being? Limited. So if we know that we need to access our full potential every day so we can take massive action, get the results we want, what types of beliefs you need to have around the business, market, the economy, your family, and yourself?
Little.
Okay. Business plan? Beliefs. Negative or positive? Limiting or empowering?
Empowering.
Now, earlier we talked about this. I asked you to stand up on your feet. I asked you to throw your hands, clasp them together. And then I said, when you switch these, sometimes it can feel a little awkward and uncomfortable. P stands for patterns. Is that what you guessed? Patterns. Beliefs and our patterns are always going to equal our current results. Say that one again. Our beliefs and our patterns will always equal our results. Now, for some contrast. You know someone in your life today not getting their results.
Yes.
You know someone who's stuck. You know someone who's in a rut, maybe a downward spiral. Someone who sets a goal, they fail. They set a goal, they fail. They set a goal, they fail. You know someone like this. Does this person on a day-to-day basis tap into a positive belief system or negative? Empowering or limiting? And if someone has a limiting belief system, are they going to tap into more of the potential day-to-day or less? If someone taps into less of the potential every day, are they going to tap into more action or less action?
Yes.
And if someone takes less action, are they going to step up or are they going to start to hesitate? When someone starts to hesitate, are they going to get the results? Are they going to get the results?
No.
And then what do they then start to say? What reasons do they give as to why they're not where they want to be?
Somebody else did it,
Not
John?
their fault.
Not their fault, why?
Everything happens. They don't happen to life. They happen to life.
They have bad luck.
Yep.
Whatever they can find.
I just don't have.
Fine.
I just don't have. Yep, I'll wait till 2. Yep. And when you start to believe your doubts, doubt your beliefs, they get reinforced and they grow. Does that make sense? And when someone starts to believe their doubts, doubt their beliefs, they become more certain of the wrong things. And when you become more certain of the wrong things, and you start to practice that muscle over and over again, fear, doubt, no time, no money, you get pretty damn good at it. Would you agree?
Yes.
And when you get pretty damn good at something, you generate a new what?
Pattern.
And when you generate a new pattern, a disempowering pattern, you tap into less of your potential, you take less action, you get worse results, cycle continues. And some people will start to clamp down. Some people will go in that downward spiral and they won't find a way out. Some people will continue to stay stuck. True?
Yes.
If someone's stuck, if someone's in a rut, can they break through?
Yes.
Come on, can they get what they want? Yes or no?
Yes.
It takes immediate and massive.
Action.
Come on, baby, immediate and massive.
Action.
Because nothing's going to happen from thinking about it. True? Happens from doing about it. I mean, I can remember I first moved here to Miami. I actually live 5 minutes away in Edgewater here. And I was in my car and I was going to this speech. There was about 200 people in the room, and I get hyped. I get excited, just like you would before a sporting event. I'm listening to my music in the car. I'm going like crazy. I have to have energy in here. Because if I come in here with low energy, y'all are going to be out of here in about 2 minutes. True? Okay, so I have to bring the energy every time I go to a speech. I'm listening to my music and I get to a stoplight. I think it's the 95. Is that what it is right there? And there's this man asking for money. And I'm in a good mood that day, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just feeling it. He needs it more than I do. And I get out my wallet, and I realize that all I have in my wallet is plastic and metal, and I do not have paper. I probably figure that he doesn't have electronic payment, so I got to go reach and find something, and I found these nutrition bars. You know what, I'm going to give him a couple nutrition bars. He needs it more than I do. I hand him the nutrition bars, roll up my window. You all are obsessed about either coding, real estate, or building a team, whatever it is. You have your obsessions. Mine is, how do I break through to people? And so I'm watching this man walk away, and my brain is on overdrive, fully kicked in. And now I'm thinking to myself, like, did this man have goals? Does he have aspirations? Does he want results out of his life? Does he have amazing thoughts, ideas? Does he want something? And I came to the conclusion that he probably does. Now, if this guy's got enough energy to walk up to my car, he wants something out of life. True?
Yes.
And then it got me thinking, you you ask 10 random people on the street, do you have goals? Do you have aspirations? Do you want results in your life? 10 out of 10 are going to say what?
Yes.
They're going to say what?
Yes.
Everyone. And then it got me thinking, the first time I got to meet Tony, it took me 1.5 years to get this role with him, and I finally get the role. I'm fired up, okay? I'm excited. It's something that I've earned, and I want to go up, and I want to get the most I possibly can of this interaction. So I run into Tony. I'm like, Tony, come on. Show me. What's the secret sauce? We're about the same height. He's 6'8". And I'm running up to him. I'm like, dude, give me the secret sauce right now. Show me. And he's like, what do you mean the secret sauce? I'm like, there's got to be distinctions. I mean, you've met people, and you've coached people who live on the street. You've also coached people who own the whole street. What is the difference? How do you get through to anyone? He says this, patterns. He says most people in life are running patterns. Everyone's running patterns. Some people have patterns and habits that take them in the right direction, and some people have patterns and habits that take them in the wrong direction. The difference between someone who has what they want and the person who doesn't have what they want are the patterns that they're running. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And he also said that most people are 1 or 2 patterns away from living their life with the destiny that they deserve. And when you can learn how to flip those patterns, you can become the best version of you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So imagine you do. Imagine you take action and destroy these patterns today. You no longer let the external BS dictate your internal world. Your new belief is that you're a phenomenal realtor, phenomenal at sales, phenomenal team leader, phenomenal owner. Anyone would be lucky to be associated with us, because while everyone's serving at their lower self, we're serving at our higher self. Prospecting daily, making the extra calls, asking for referrals every time you do business, loving deeper, going farther, whatever it is. Living the most you possibly can of this experience. Feel me? Bringing the energy every day. Imagine you unlocked and you unleashed that. What would change? How would you show up? What impact would you make? I'll give you an example. In order for us to get the things that we want out of life, we got to focus on the gifts that we already have. Right? Where focus goes, energy flows. So I'll say that one again. Where focus goes, energy flows. Hey guys. So I'll give you an example. We all day to day have different things that we're going after, right? We're all achievers. You all agree with that?
Yes.
So you wouldn't be in this room for lunch and learn. And if that's the case, sometimes we may have to dial it back and focus on things that we didn't have to earn. And in order to get these things, we have to focus that we've been given the most amazing gifts, the most amazing machine ever created. What is it? Our bodies, yeah? Maybe some. I mean, think about this. Every day you wake up, doesn't matter if you're frustrated, pissed off, upset, things are going your way, things aren't going your way, this deal wouldn't go through. This sucker right here is a gift. As long as this thing's moving, we're still moving, true?
Yes.
Number one, we've also been given one of the most powerful computers in the world. We got computers in our pockets. He's working on a computer all day. What do computers run on? Besides energy. What runs a computer? Patterns. Yeah, like programs or patterns, yes?
Yes.
Why you're called a programmer. Why you're probably damn good at what you do. And we want the most out of this experience right now, am I right? The worst thing we could do is leave here and not do anything about it. So is it cool if I go here for a sec, yes?
Yes.
What patterns are you still running? What programs are you still running? What's running your computer right now? Is it, I don't have time? Is it, I don't have the money? I'll wait till next year and procrastinate program. Doubt, fear, anxiety, I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have the training, I don't have money, whatever it is. The beliefs about life are the results that we get. I don't want to hear it. Tony doesn't want to hear it. Oliver doesn't want to hear it. Carlos doesn't want to hear it. But the current state of the results that we get, checking account, savings account, love and passion, creativity in our life, the direct reflections of the beliefs that we have about our life. Isn't it true that in life we can't just talk our way out of things that we've acted ourselves into? In order to do something that we've never done before, we have to become a better version of us. True?
Yes.
We got to act our way out of it. Albert Einstein had a famous quote for insanity. What was it? Doing the same things in red over and over again, expecting the things in green. Feel me? Do you agree with me that success and failure are on the same street?
Yes.
It's just for the people who continue to move further down the street with their actions. Does this make sense? So imagine you unlock today. Imagine you destroyed these patterns that might be holding you back right now. What changes for you? I'll give you an example. You wrote down earlier on your sheet things that you said might be holding you back. Those things are these patterns or a belief system, a thought pattern. In case you didn't know, human beings' thoughts from day to day are almost identical to the day before. 91% of our thoughts every day are the exact same thoughts that we had the day before. And if this is the case, we got 9% of our thoughts. 9% of our thoughts just overwrite this system. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
And if that's the case, let's find out what one of these buggers is right now and destroy it. Right now is going to be that pressure builds diamond moment that I told you about earlier. Are you game for going here with me?
Yes.
If you're in this room, you're a decision maker. You're a business owner, or you've joined a company where you get the opportunity to make the decisions. True?
Yes.
Whether you're creative or you have your own spark, you have something special. Now, which one on that list is your number one BS? Which one is that one scapegoat? What is that one crutch? What's that one thing that you've been leaning on? Your one way out. You got to answer this question. I'm not where I want to be this year because I would be there, but which one is it for you? I'd like you to investigate that list that you have right now and circle the top pattern. Number one, go ahead and go. When you find it, go ahead and look up. Awesome. Y'all got it?
Yeah.
Now this little sucker, if you're being honest with yourself right now, has it brought you more, has that pattern been there for a day, a week, or a long time?
Long time.
Yeah. A study done at Harvard University proved that 50% of our patterns as human beings, 50%, are learned by the age of 95% of our patterns as human beings are learned by the age of 18. If that's true, right now, let's ask ourselves this question. Has it brought you more happiness in your life or more stress? Has that pattern that you circled, how it cost you to miss out on opportunities? What about your finances or your health? You all know the story of a doctor and a patient, right? Doctor goes up to the patient, he says, hey, listen, you don't put your patterns or habits. If you don't stop drinking and smoking, you may have a heart attack and
Die.
And rarely does someone in that position do anything about it, ever. Why?
Pattern.
Give it to me again.
It's a pattern.
This person's stuck in a pattern habit, yes or no?
Yes.
If they wanted to, if their reasons are big enough in their life, if this person's stuck, can they change? Yes or no?
Of
Yes.
course.
Can they change?
Yes.
It takes immediate and massive.
Action.
Next week?
No.
Next year?
No.
No.
Right today. True?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's eliminate this one right now. When we eliminate this today, imagine you did the opposite of this pattern, the antithesis of it. Whatever this pattern is that you circled, imagine in 2020 or right now, you did the opposite of it. I'll give you an example. I told you 4 years ago I was a school teacher. I tell you that story because I want to tell you about when I was stuck. As a school teacher, I knew that I wanted to go into business for myself. I knew that I was going to be good at sales. I never did anything about it. Why? My old patterns and habits, my thought patterns were, I used to tell myself that I'm too young. I don't have the experience. Now, if I kept that pattern up long in my life, one day I'd wake up and be too what? True? So I had to eliminate that pattern and do the opposite of that to end up over here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So instead of saying I'm too young, I started saying, good. My biggest strength being young. Everyone on planet Earth would like to be a little bit younger. True, yes or no?
Yes.
Youth is energy. Youth is excitement. I have what people want. I'm a sponge. I can learn from anyone that I want. And so whatever this pattern is for you, how do you use it? Couldn't someone in the exact opposite position do the same thing? If you were trying to coach someone who's towards, let's just say they're 65 years old, they're getting towards the end of their career, couldn't you coach this person and say, what do you mean you're too old? Age is wisdom. Age is power. Age is connections. You've shaken a lot of hands in your day, and I bet you a lot of those people want to buy or sell homes. True, yes or no? And the coolest thing about these people at this age is they have kids now that are old enough to buy and sell homes. True?
Yeah.
So how do you use yours to your advantage right now? In 2020, what changes for you? By eliminating it today. More money, more confidence, more certainty, more love, more passion, more creativity. Cross that one out. So you circled it. Now cross it out. Then write down exactly what's going to change for you by eliminating this pattern now. Go ahead and go. Open that chair. Okay, y'all got it, yes? About 2 more seconds. Ready? 1, 2. Perfect. We want these things. True?
Yes.
A lot of people want them, don't they? Most people fail. Most people fail to get the results. And the reason people fail is because they don't have a big enough reason why. Don't forget to remind yourself the human beings that are going to fill that room during Christmas time, Hanukkah, or New Year's. Write down their names. Because human beings will always do more for the people that they love than they ever would themselves. I'll say that one again. Who here's a mom or dad? Baby boys, baby girls, whatever it takes. If they needed something, you would run into a burning building. True, yes or no?
Yes.
Maybe not. You would do whatever it takes. If they were in that building, you would go. You would find a way.
I think Maria said it depends which one. She has 8, so.
I have one that I ran into many burning buildings.
Good for you.
Now it's like,
You're on your own, pal.
you're on your own.
Yeah. These people that we love are our pull, yes?
Yes.
And what happens if you do nothing? What happens if we leave this 45-minute interaction, you go back and do the same thing you did yesterday?
Relax.
Yeah, right?
Stays it.
Like a plant, right? It's either growing or,
Waiting to come.
in business, we're either moving forward or getting left behind.
Nine.
Yeah, in relationships, we grow together or grow.
Apart.
Life is motion, and imagine you didn't do anything about it. Let's just say that someone wanted to increase their business by 100%. I'm totally making a guess here, so I'm not trying to do anything here, but just make a guess, right? Let's just say the average realtor in the United States is making $50K. they increase their business by 100%. That's an additional. Okay. Fair enough?
Yeah.
That's an increase of 100%. Is that possible for a human being? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And if it's possible, if we were coaching this particular realtor and told this person, isn't it true that however long you've been running those old patterns, that you've been missing out on $50,000 a year? Yes or no?
Yes.
And isn't it fair to say this in a different way? If we were really trying to get a breakthrough out of this person, couldn't we say $50,000 times the next 10 years is how much money? Come on, how much money?
500,000.
$500,000. And then what is that for you? Is that college tuition for your kids? Is that putting money aside for a vacation home? Is that retiring early, putting money aside? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is that for you? Do you feel what I'm saying? So my question is today is, what happens when you do eliminate it? What do you see in your life? You feel me on that?
Yeah.
And I didn't get that message the first time I heard it. My best friend is a guy named Chandler Parag. Chandler knows my goals, my aspirations, the things that I do want in my life, the things that I don't want in my life. Here are my patterns and habits when I was a teacher. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Friday night, Saturday night. Picking up on this? That was my life. And I was wasting all my money on the weekends. Now, he comes and visits me. I'm living in Newport Beach, California. Does anyone know where that's at? Why I'm Newport? Because it's closer to where the parties are. And he comes to me for a weekend. Friday night he stayed with me. Saturday night he stayed with me. Sunday morning comes around. I'm not feeling too good, as you can imagine. And he gives me a wake-up call. He says this, dude, what is going on with you? I'm like, what do you mean what's going on with me? A great weekend. It was just like college. We did it all over again. We partied. He's like, no, it wasn't awesome. Like, you had people come up to you and ask you, Brian, how you doing? That's the standard question that most people ask you, right? What's the standard answer? Fine, good, okay? Because, dude, you're not doing good. You're not doing fine. You're not doing okay. Because you're not a good, fine, or an okay guy. The results that you're getting in life for you are pathetic. You're not a pathetic human being, but because you told me that you wanted more in your life and you're not doing it about it, you are getting pathetic results compared to your best self. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Like, wake up. Do something. Now, he used the F word, he used the A word, all the words. And I almost got in an altercation with him that Sunday. About 4 or 5 days later, I cooled off. My ego had dropped, right? And I give him a call. I'm like, I appreciate you for the wake-up call, man. I'm stuck. Like, I need to introduce you to my dad. His dad lives in Laguna Beach, California. Does anyone know where that's at?
Yes.
Okay. Laguna Beach is the most beautiful place on earth to me. And here's why. I get down to Laguna Beach, California, to this gated community. I knew my household, money was always an issue. Like, we had the things we want. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I didn't know gated community. Does that make sense? I get there, and they open the gates to this gated community, and I'm driving down this road. And I'm looking at all these beautiful houses, and I can't help but feel just like a little bit out of place. I'm seeing all these possibilities and that I don't have them. And I get down to Chandler's dad's house. This is the biggest freaking house in this gated community. Like, this thing is amazing. This is the biggest house I've ever stepped foot on in my life. I go inside this house and my eyeballs go like this. And now I'm just looking at all the scenery, everything in the house, and just thinking to myself, don't touch anything, don't break anything, just mind your business. And I go outside to the backyard. Beautiful backyard, overlooking the cliffs. And what I mean by that is this: there's waves crashing on these cliffs underneath. And there's stairs that go right down to the ocean, right down where you can put your feet right in the sand. And now I'm blown away. Something inside of me just ignited. You ever had one of those moments where you just got ignited from something? And I'm I want all the answers now. How do you get this? I want this. I'm tired of living where I was at, the whole thing, the whole works. Chandler's dad, his name is Michael, taps me on my shoulder. Hey, let's go have a conversation. All right. First thing he says to me, hey, I hear you're stuck. Great. Yes, I am stuck. Like, listen, let's get you unstuck. I'm like, Mike, listen to me. This is how, like, how do I get it? Show me the cheat sheet. Show me the way. Give it to me right now. I need the answers. Like, slow down. And he kind of does one of these. Like, stares at his own house. You ever had someone who's just like confident and they're just like looking at their all the cool stuff that they have, and you're looking at his own house like, wow, I really want this place someday, like something like this. I'm like, yes. Like, it's a pretty amazing spot, isn't it? And I'm like, yes. It's like, you met my family, my beautiful wife, inside and out. She's an amazing human being. You want a relationship like this someday, yes? I'm like, yes. It's like, you like our morals. You know my son. I'm like, yes. It's like, then shut up and start listening. All right. Then he goes over belief systems, patterns, taking massive action. Belief systems, patterns, taking massive action. And you would have thought because I was hungry that I would have resonated with me, and it didn't. Like, young, bullish, I thought I knew all the answers. I didn't know it, but he was talking to me, and in my head, this is what I was saying. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Belief systems, pattern, taking massive action. I got it. He offers to be my mentor. He gives me a call about 6 months later. Brian, how are you? Oh, Michael, I'm amazing. I'm great, man. You're never going to believe it. Listen, I'm starting up real estate. I'm doing cold calls at night, and I'm selling on the weekends. This is my life. I'm trying everything. He says this. Are you still teaching? You know how a mentor doesn't let you get away with anything? Yes, I'm still teaching. Like, what do you mean you're still teaching? You said you got it. You said belief system, pattern, massive action. You said you were going to go do it. I'm like, yeah, Michael, easy for you to say. You have everything you want. I just can't because I would, but like, you might want to start quitting your buts and because and just start doing. Right now, you're on the sideline. Get in the game. Go do, go be. Like, listen, if I wanted to teach you a new skill, you could learn it by watching a YouTube video or reading a book, or you can go get in the game. Does that make sense? Like, you need the experiences. You can't just do it out here. You got to go do. Now, I'm hearing this, and all I'm thinking about is, easy for you to say, man, you must have inherited money. You must have come from money. He's like, are you nuts? The first time you met me, you asked me how I did it. And I didn't want to tell you at the time because it wasn't going to serve you. I'll tell you now. Guess what I did when I was in my 20s as a profession? I was a janitor. Like, dude, there's nothing wrong with being a janitor. It's like, there is nothing wrong. There's some of the hardest working people on planet Earth. It's just not going to get me those things that you saw. Does that make sense? I'm like, you're right. Like, thank God for best friends. Like, in 1988, my life changed. My buddy dragged me to a seminar. Guess who he freaking met in 1988? Come on, give it to me. Tony freaking Robbins. In 1988, he meets Tony Robbins at a Tony Robbins event. You'll know, Tony tells the stories, but in 1988, he was my age, giving seminars to maybe 200 people. That was what he was doing. He was branching off on his own. Michael shows up to this thing that at the time it was called Unlimited Power. That was what the weekend was called. Now it's called Unleash the Power Within. Day 1, he goes. Day 2, he goes. By day 3, he quits his job. Day 3, after the event's over, Tony's still approachable at that time in his life. Goes up to Tony. Tony, you said take massive action. You've been talking about these belief system pattern, massive action. I'm taking massive action now. We're going into business for each other. Listen, more people need to see you. They need to get exposed to you. And then Tony goes, I said take massive action, but not that kind of massive action. Like, listen, I don't have an opportunity for you right now. I'm running this ship the way that I think it's best. And here's my card. Follow up with me. What did Michael do?
Follow it up.
Yeah, but he didn't just follow up. He found out where Tony's living in Del Mar, the Del Mar Castle, knocks on his door. Tony, I'm here. Remember the crazy guy from the seminar? Like, are you nuts? And he says Tony was a little bit weirded out, but he's also kind of impressed. I'm sure most of us would be, right? And they get to talking. By 1989, Michael Parag comes up with this role that I'm doing for you right now. He was the first person to ever go on the road with Tony and share the content. He said, that changed my life. You're going. Like, going where? Like, Tony's selling out arenas, 20,000 people each. You're going. He's still doing it better than ever. There's one coming up in Los Angeles 2.5 weeks from now. You're going. What is the first question that I asked him? Someone says you should go to this event. What's the first question you ask? Say it again?
I can't afford.
I didn't say, how do I get there? If this works for you, I'm in. Give me the link. I'm signing up. None of that.
No, it's how.
It's the gut reaction that most people have. And he's like, are you effing kidding me? You just asked me how I did it. I just told you how, and you're asking that question? If I'm going to be your mentor, you need to start stepping up and taking action for yourself. I'm not going to be here for you if you don't want to do it. Get your ASS to that event. I'm like, all right, I'll go. Like, have you ever done something to please someone else? That's what I was doing. I didn't want to go. I went because Michael told me I should go, and I didn't want to let him down. I show up at this event. Day one, there's 16,000 people at the University of Southern California. I show up, day one, I sit in my seat. I'm a pretty outgoing guy. You picked up on that, right? As a teacher, though, I wasn't living my purpose, and I became less confident and kind of introverted for me. And that's not my natural human being. I sat in this chair for 10 hours. We don't really sit, right? Talking about it. I was there for 10 hours, and I didn't talk to a single person. I was the guy kind of like, oh, God, I don't want to be here. This is so dumb, lame, whatever it is. Just coming up with all the reasons. And about 10 p.m. comes around. You'll remember this. Tony shows this big video on the big screen. It's like a live video feed of what's happening outside the arena. And it's this fire team that has these wood logs, like wood on fire, and it burned down to hot coals. Heard about this, right? Now, Tony says this. We've talked about belief systems pattern, taking massive action in your life. We're going to go outside. This is a metaphor for your life. If you're up for it, we're going to go outside, crush your limited beliefs, and walk over these hot coals. Now, I see this video on the big screen, and the first thing I thought to myself, like, yeah, right, real coals, 16,000 people. Chandler's dad didn't tell me anything about this. I'll play along for this dumb production, whatever this is, I'll just go with it. Right? At that time in my life, this is my attitude. 2 hours go by. He's prepping you for the firework, getting you excited for it. He says at midnight, here, roll up your pants, take off your shoes. We're going outside, and we're walking over these hot coals. I'm competitive enough that I wasn't going to be the guy who doesn't go outside and figure out whatever this is. I go outside, and I'm thinking to myself, great production, whatever these are, I'll walk over them, get to bed. It's like midnight, I just want to go home. You get outside, and there are about 40 rows of hot fire. Do you remember this? And there are sparks flying up off these coals. So they're real. So now my heart's going, and now I'm like, all right, I got to do this because I can't be the chicken who doesn't do it. I go line up in line with a sour attitude, and there's this woman standing in front of me. Must have been 85, 90 years old. And have you ever been around happy people before? You know what I'm talking about? This woman at 85, 90 years old, she's got her little walker, and she's doing stuff like this. Oh my God, life is amazing. You're not going to believe this. The next chapter of my life is going to be outside. Can you believe this event? We're going to go walk on fire. This is amazing. And I'm saying right behind her, and she's saying stuff like next chapter. I'm like, what do you mean next chapter? You know what I mean? You know, my evil thoughts, and she's hugging people. And she turns around, she hugs me, and I'm like, argh, you know? Just want to be in my patterns and habits here. And she's like love and excitement and joy. And I was thinking to myself, like, whatever she's got, I want. Like, she's got maybe this much life left, and I got this much life left, and she's living more in this moment than I've lived in 4 years of being a teacher. I'm in. Like, whatever, I don't want to be here. And it's not about the damn fire. It's nothing to do with hot coals. Anyone can do it. It's the point that in life, there's going to be things that present themselves that make you fear, anxiety, frustrated, whatever it is. How do you handle it? For me, it was, I'm going to be the pissed off guy here. I don't want to be here. This is dumb. Doubt. And I realized that these doubt programs, these things that I had in my life, can no longer exist if I wanted to go into business with myself. If I wanted to be the best version of me. Does this make sense? So this little woman, she's got her little walker. By the way, like I used to call this thing now the fire walker. So she gets on the other side of it, and she's doing one of these. She's like, come on, let's go. I'm like, shit. So I'm over here. You get excited. You remember your move?
Because of, I know. You saw the video.
Yeah, okay. So you didn't do it, but you do what's called make your move, and you get pumped. You got to get in the right move. She goes over this. I'm like, all right, I'm in. You walk over these hot coals, and you celebrate, because you just did something that you thought was impossible, and you made it possible. You look at your life and say, if I can do that, I can do what? Day one alone will change your life forever. And I'm not telling you this, and it did mine. I'm not telling you this because Tony throws fairy dust and says, now your life is perfect. Of course not. But those patterns and habits that head you in a different direction. Give an example. You got two planes that take off from Miami at the exact same time. They're both supposed to end up in Los Angeles. If the pilot or the captain puts in the autopilot by 2 degrees off, one of these flights is going to end up in South America, and the other one will end up right on target. Over time, these patterns and habits take you in a direction. Does this make sense? That's what this day is about. It's about eliminating those old patterns and habits. That first day of the event is called Fear into Power. Fear into what?
Power.
That's day one. Day two is called the Power of Success and Conditioning. How to truly influence another human being. Whether you're a coder, whether you're in real estate, whether you're an owner, how important is influence in your life? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say? Right? You got 8 kids. Influence is important. True? Take out the trash. Come home on. You know what I mean? Like, it's the most important skill in life. On this day, I got the biggest gift that I've ever learned. It's Joseph that's there at day 2. It says this: you cannot give someone something in which you do not have. You cannot give someone something in which you do not have. I'm not talking about you have to have a $10 million property to sell a $10 million property. I'm saying if you want to convince someone to say yes and be a decision maker, you yourself have to be a decision maker. Yes or no?
Yes.
Biggest gift. If I want someone to be joyful, happy, excited, passionate, I myself have to harbor those things so that they can become what I want. Meaning this: in any situation, the person who is more certain eventually persuade the other person if you give it enough time. Does that make sense? And if you're more certain about this opportunity is amazing, joy, excitement, passion, eventually that passion, joy, excitement infuses into the other person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Day 2 is called the Power of Success and Influence. Day 3, Transformation Day. What's day 3?
Transformation.
This day is crazy. Do you remember this one? You were there for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, Transformation Day is nuts, and I'll tell you why. Tony takes you through an exercise where you identify what these patterns are. I'll be honest with you. We have an hour together. These are surface level. There are things much deeper, but that takes more time. That's why it's a 50-hour weekend. Give you an example. If I asked you to drive your car right now and meet me down in the Florida Keys, go down there for happy hour or something, meet down in the Florida Keys. If I asked you to drive your car down there right now and you were 15 and a half years of age, the first time you ever sat behind a steering wheel, hands would be 10 and 2. True? And you remember these cars that cut you off, you remember the cars that zip past you, remember hitting your blinker, looking over this way, you remember that big semi that got too close to you. True, yes or no? If I asked you to get in your car right now, after you've driven your cars thousands and thousands and thousands of times, have you ever driven somewhere in your life, got there, and then been like, shit, I don't even know how I got here? Yes. Because you've done it 1,000 times. Patterns and habits in our life, they don't go away. They're in there. We're not consciously aware of them. Does that make sense? It's like whenever you press the start button, but you have like a false start, sometimes that's because those patterns and habits that are running the show, in your subconscious, are there. This event, it's like taking these old patterns and habits and eliminating them from your life. They don't show up anymore. And then replacing them with brand new patterns, life that plays out by your design, not by default. And when you do that, life starts to begin on your terms, your standards. That third day is called Transformation Day. What's it called?
Transformation.
Baby, come on. What's it called?
Transformation.
That day is nuts. You remember that? Maybe in a little bit I'll have you share the story. But anyone who's been to this event right behind getting married and having kids is like, they rank it up there. Day 4, bonus health day. Health is wealth. If we don't have our health, We don't have much of anything. Is that true? There are 13 master principles to pure energy. And in order to have pure energy, to live a vital life, you got to feel unstoppable. Because when you feel unstoppable, you get unstoppable results. True? Y'all up for feeling this way right now, yeah? We got to walk out of here feeling like peak state. True?
Yes.
Stand up for a second. Perfect. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Now, I want you to imagine you step up today, and every day that you move forward, you're getting the results, some of your level of skill, knowledge, talent deserves to have in your life. What does that look like? Money you making? How does it feel? What does it mean to you? I want you to imagine your health, the energy, the body that you deserve to have. What does that look like? How does it feel? What do these things mean to you in your life? I want you to take these things, these results that you create a picture for yourself. Image. Create that image. Great. I want you to take your left hand out. Place that image in the left palm of your hand. You're going to take your right hand back just like this. Awesome. You got your left hand forward and your right hand back. Now, when I ask you this next question, grab that picture out of your hand and say yes. Are you ready to make this year the best year of your life? Yes! That was pretty good. My two leaders, come on up. Or three leaders. We got 3 leaders today. Come on up. And you've been to the Tony event, so you come on down too. I love your shirt, by the way. I just read it for the first time. It's super cool. Come on. Team leads. Team leader. Perfect. Boom. Okay. I'm going to ask you to be the judges of the room. Is that cool with you? I'm going to ask you to judge the room, not judge the humans, just judge the clap. Right? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is like comatose, might as well be asleep. Like all that food just went to our brain and we're melting. 1. A 10 is so phenomenal, we're shaking the very foundation of this building like a kid in a candy store, going absolutely berserk. You've been to the event, so you know what berserk and energy is.
Yeah.
Compare the energy of that clap to day 3 after Transformation Day. Where would you rank this team's clap? Honestly. I agree with you. What was it? A 3. Okay, great. Maria, right?
I haven't been to one.
But compare it to what you know this room is capable of.
I would give it a little bit more than I think we have a good crowd here. I'm going to say 5.
Okay. Capable of 4. Okay. 4. Now the average of these numbers was about a what? 3.5.
Yes.
Where did we start off today? Oh. What belief systems and patterns are making that okay?
No.
Maybe you thought, what's this person next to me going to think if I play this silly, awkward, weird game all out? Or maybe you thought, let me sit back and watch other people step up before I step up and get after it. Or maybe you thought, Brian, can you chill out? Miami, you didn't tell me how to play at a level 10. Just relax, California. One of my favorite quotes is by Walt Disney. I grew up 20 minutes from Disneyland, and one of my favorite quotes by Walt Disney said this: most people in life just see something right in front of them before they're ever going to believe it. True? Yeah. And what he actually said is that you need to believe it before it's ever going to come true. So, if you could have been experiencing this silly, awkward, weird game at a level 10, then you experience that at like a 3.5 or below. Isn't it possible that there's some area of your life that you're still experiencing at this 3.5 and you could have it at a level 10? True?
True.
I believe in second chances. Y'all good with that? This time it's going to be massively different. How much different?
Massive.
Come on, you know what I'm talking about. How much different?
Massive.
I'm going to ask you 3 questions. How many questions?
3.
Come on, baby. How many questions?
3.
After this first question, you're going to grab that picture out of your hand? Yes. After that second question that I asked you, you'll grab your picture out of your hand? Yes.
Yes.
And after the third question, you're going to grab that picture out of your hand 3 times. How many times?
3.
Oh, come on, give it to me. How many times?
3.
You're going to say yes. 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 Whoa. Yes. You're like, fuck no. Come on, tell me, doesn't it take the most self-confident group to pull this off? Yes?
Yes.
This time it's going to be how much different?
Massive.
Oh, how much different?
Massive.
I'm going to ask you 3 questions. How many questions?
3.
Baby, give it to me. How many?
3.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Now, I want you to imagine you're stepping up today and every day that you move forward, getting your results that someone of your level of skill, knowledge, talent deserves to have in your life. How much money you making? What kind of car do you drive? What kind of house do you move into? Where do you travel? What do other people say about you? What do you say about yourself? Someday, those kids say about you. Thank you, Mom, thank you, Dad, for being such an amazing role model in my life. All because you stepped up and took action today and every day that you move forward. Those beautiful, loving, passionate relationships look like? How do they feel? Mean to you? Now, I want you to imagine your health, the energy, the body that you deserve to have, you desire. What does that look like? What does it feel? What do these things mean to you now? You create that image. Great. Make it bigger. Make it brighter. Make it vivid. Make it true. Make it you right now. Don't let go. Add color to it. Bigger, brighter, beautiful. You. Now. Take your left hand out. Place that image in the left palm of your hand. And your right hand back. Go ahead and open up your eyes. Remember, it's going to be 3 questions. Are you ready to make this year the best year of your life? Yes! Are you ready to destroy all your limiting patterns? Yes! Are you ready to step up today and every day moving forward? Yes! 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 Oh! Yes! Bunch of weirdos. My God. Feels pretty good, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. With this feeling right here, this is what's called a peak state. A peak what?
State.
A peak state can be conditioned inside of you. Human beings go back to their emotional homes. Some people have an emotional home of pissed off, frustrated, upset, I ain't into this. And some people have a pissed off home like this little woman that I met. Life is amazing. I don't care what happens to me. I'm going to be a happy person. True, yes or no?
Yes.
Why is that you have both? Some people practice this muscle more, and some people practice this muscle more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You can't condition these things inside of you. You need the experience. You need to experience these things. You need the repetition of it. And that's why the full immersion stuff like this is what gets you there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It doesn't happen behind reading a book or watching a YouTube video. Those are great tools. I use them. Sometimes you have to get in the game. You feel me?
Yes.
Awesome. We got 2 more minutes left together. Take a quick seat.
He's are awesome.
I don't think it would be.
Those to some people. Okay, perfect. This is the coolest thing in the world. Okay, awesome. So this is your opportunity right here. This is your opportunity to create the life that you truly deserve and that you desire. This is the most exciting thing for me because this is the event that Michael shared with me 4.5 years ago, and it's the one thing that shaped my life, and I'm giving you the opportunity today. So for those of you who are excited, I know some of you have already gone and some of you already want to go, ask me these questions towards the end. I'll go over all the details with you. Cool?
Yes.
Tony does 3 of these events in the United States of America a year. He only does Florida every 2 to 3 years, if he comes back. And I remember, yeah. So if you want to do the one in here in Florida, here's the coolest thing. This will never be closer to you. And I mean that quite literally. Usually it's in West Palm. This bad boy is right here at American Airlines Arena.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like right here. Most people are flying around the world for this thing. And the best thing about it is you don't have to wait to get your results. This thing is like next week. This thing is Thursday through Sunday next week, November 7th through the 10th at American Airlines Arena. AAA, where Miami Heat plays. Let me give you your options. The first section, it's called Diamond Premier. Diamond Premier is by far the most exclusive option. I'll be honest with you, you know if you're Diamond Premier. It's down on the floor. There's a group of people called Tony's Platinum Partners. They pay $85,000 a year to sit in the front row. You're right behind them if you do Diamond Premier down on the floor. People do that section because of the networking opportunity. Get a private lounge with these individuals. People like Mark Benioff, Cuban, Oprah, they go to those lounges if they're there. That section originally, I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. I know I took up your afternoon. Y'all are getting, like, because Carlos brought me in, because Oliver brought me in, you guys are going to get some, like, killer discounts. Yay, discounts. Yay. The first section is called Diamond Premier. It was originally $3,495. These are your guys' prices. If you decide to do it today, that's what I'm giving you right now. That one goes down to $2,995. $2,995 for Diamond Premier. The next section back from that is Diamond. That's also down on the floor. The other floor seating, that's the back half of the floor. So that was originally $23.95. That bad boy drops down to, oh, sorry, that one's sold out. Diamond sold out. Almost forgot. VIP. VIP is where most of my realtors go when I give these presentations. This is where most of them are sitting. It's also your biggest discount. VIP was originally $1,695. That bad boy drops down to $995. Finally, executive. You still get access to all 3 days, plus your bonus health day. That sucker drops down from $13.95 all the way down to $7.95. And then finally, you got general admission. Hear me on this, please. I don't know what your financial situation is in the room. I do know what mine was the first time. Michael Parag made me sit VIP. I'll tell you this. I don't care where you sit. If this is a financial bind, what I would offer to you today is this is one of the ways that would help solve that issue. Don't worry about where you're sitting. Like if you're in the rafters versus down on the floor, you're going to have a better opportunity the closer you sit. You're going to have a better opportunity in terms of networking and how close you are to the events, like rock concert down on the floor or up here. Having said that, you're not missing the content. You're getting the exact same content no matter where you're at. You still get the firewall. Cool? Like I know people in all different types of the world that sit both. So whatever you decide, that section drops down to $695 for you today. Cool. Great question. The question was, what's the difference between executive and VIP? I'm a pretty transparent dude. The packages are the exact same. The biggest difference is where you're sitting and who you're sitting next to. That's the biggest difference. So imagine this, American Airlines Arena, the floor is the basketball arena, or the basketball floor. And then the first set of stadium seats around the arena, the 100s, that's VIP. And then the next section up is going to be executive. And then GA is going to be up top.
No, like behind.
If you want to come hang with me, we'll talk. Yeah.
This is only for me.
No, I meant there's none like out of the room.
No. Say it again.
You can't bring.
You can. Yeah, but I mean, they would pay the same that you're paying. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, you get a guest. So here's what I'll say. How many of you feel like spending 3 days with the #1 success coach on planet Earth would actually do something for the results in your business and personal life? By show of hands. Yeah. How many of you are interested in taking your life to the next level? If there's ever a time to do it, when's the best time?
Now.
Come on, baby. When is it?
Now.
Heck yeah. That's why we give you this opportunity. Of course, it's not easy. That's the point. Successful people make the tough decisions. If this is tough, I know it will benefit your life. Don't take my word for it. Talk to people who have been before. One more thing. You've been.
Everybody here is don't sit next to you. Don't sit next to your spouse most of the time because you're or your friend or whoever you're going to bring. Because we found engaging people so much from people you don't know.
Yes.
Versus the same person you're going to be home with every day, or your friend or your best friend, whatever it is. So you go together, try to sit apart for like half a minute, get out of your comfort zone, and you'll get feedback from other people. You'll that much better.
Cool. What changed for you? Like when you went, what did you apply? What changed?
The things that I do now. A couple of years.
No hesitation,
and I'm still
right?
volunteering. I'm still cooking myself for 17 by dinner.
Boom, baby.
I'm just inviting and opening up the house.
Epic. Yeah. The firewalk is on Thursday. Is that Shabbat?
No, this is good.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. So you can do the firewalk this time.
So when are you doing it? Friday, Saturday?
Saturday is Transformation Day, and then Sunday is the Health Day. So here's what I need from you. I can feel the energy. Yeah, it's a bonus Health Day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She has to go, so she.
Are you coming?
Yeah, but I want to bring somebody.
Sure. So here's what we can do. Fill it out for you, and fill out the whole thing, and then I will call you for the second person later. But I do need the white form today. Cool. So having said that, I can tell that everyone's in a rush here. So here's what I need from you. The top of the form where it says company name, put down company name right here. Section. So I'm going to give you guys this killer discount. Organize this in my world. Then put your first and last name. Skip the address. We don't need your address. Unless you want me to throw a pebble at the window. Skip the address. And then in the bottom right, you're going to put down your cell phone number. And then your email number. Not your email number. And then in that middle section, whatever like the regular population is paying, cross that out and put down your guys' discount for today. If you're planning to, did I tell you about the upgrade yet? Oh my God, I forgot. How many of you are interested in going? Cool. We do this thing that's called a 5 or more. So a 5 or more plan means this. If 5 people from today decide that you want to go, we're going to upgrade your seats for free. So general admission will get upgraded to executive, and executive will get upgraded to VIP. That includes if you're bringing a spouse or a friend. They'll count towards our 5. Cool? So we got 1 with you, and then maybe the second one. They're already almost halfway there. So bottom left section, that's how you sign up a friend or a family member. And then the bottom right, that's where you put your credit card information, your payment information. I need the white form today, and you take the yellow form. I'll take the white form, you take the yellow form. I can answer any questions y'all got. Like I'm here the next, whatever long you need.
What is the ultimate?
The Ultimate Edge is our app, and it's a coaching program from Tony. It's like a systematic coaching program for after the event. You can sign up there, and then going forward, yeah? Cool. And then, what was I going to say? Once we get to 5, I'll indicate the upgrade for you. You don't need to do that. I can take care of it. Cool?